Welcome, mommy. I have a question. What's wrong with Manchester? Which Manchester are you talking about? Both Manchesters, mom. What's wrong with them? What do you think about the game today with Man U, Kunle? Yeah,
Yeah, I think that it's quite clear with United that the players that we have are simply not good enough to play the style that Amorim wants.
yeah,
He needs to do a massive clear out. And it's not so much about the players he needs to bring in, it's the players he needs to get rid of.
yeah,
Uh, if there's anything interesting to watch for United fans now, it's to hope that we do well in Europe, in the Europa League. That's the only avenue to anything significant next
yeah,
season. Otherwise, he's basically just experimenting.
yeah. This
Um,
is a building year, experimental year. Yeah,
yeah, he needs to get players in January.
sort of like our podcast is experimental right now. We're getting the formula right.
He needs to get players in January, and then he needs to get more players in the summer window, and then he can start a proper challenge next season.
Yeah,
The Europa League is probably a trophy. Sorry, it's possible to win a Europa League because there are a lot of lower teams in there. That's the only place that he can do anything significant. If he finishes 14th and wins the Europa League, that's okay.
yeah. We'll see what happens. That's going to be a tough one to win, though. Falabi, give us a breakdown of the game today, man. How did you see it? What were the tactically? What was the cause of their loss? Give us an analysis of the game.
I think Kule is absolutely right. You've
Yeah,
brought in a coach that is synonymous with a particular way of playing. Three at the back, four in midfield, and three in front. And then you bring him to a team that is already used to playing a 4-3-3 in the middle of the season, and you have players that have been recruited to play that system. So it's going to be a long, hard road for Man U fans. Painful as it might be, or it's going to be very painful, but there's no
it's
quick
part of it. There's no way
fix.
around it.
There's no
There's
quick
no way
fixes
around it.
here. And
Yeah,
like Kule said, they're going to have to get rid of a lot of players that are not just wedded into the system and begin
yeah.
to recruit gradually before they can
Rashford
see,
must go.
yes, before they can
Rashford
see
must
any
go.
change. Yes, so
Rashford must go. I'm just kidding.
before they can see any changes, at least the summer must come and that guy must have opportunity to buy his own type of players. I just hope we
Yeah,
don't get relegated before then.
yeah. And
Yeah, Rashford isn't the problem. He's not the only
no,
player
I'm
that
just
needs
joking. But
to go.
but they need a winger who can backtrack, though. Yeah,
Yeah.
Alfonso Davis is on the list of players that they're looking to try to get.
yeah. So we'll
I
see
think
what happens. So give us a tactical breakdown of what you saw today with their game, Falabi. Yeah.
Yeah, basically in the first half, the Wolves team defended deep. So what they were trying to do was to play on the counter attack. So, but Man United was unable, the invention and the craft was not enough to pry open the Wolverhampton defense. And the Wolverhampton team was very physical. I noticed it in the first half. They were bullying Manchester United all over. And then we committed some flimsy fouls. It was one of those fouls that eventually cost us in the second half when Bruno Fernandes got sent off. And then when Man United were playing a man down, it became more
Mm-hmm.
difficult. The numerical advantage of the Wolves now came to bear. And then to think that we conceded from a set piece again, from a corner kick, is becoming a recurring theme. They have to do something about that. Since the Arsenal
Yeah,
game, we've been conceding from corner kick. It's not
yeah.
nice
yeah.
at all.
You also have to
When are they,
know
when are
that
they playing City?
okay,
We
I
played
wanted
Go
to
ahead,
six.
say sorry, I
go
wanted to
Kunle,
say
go ahead.
Yeah.
yeah, I wanted to say that Wolves also play a 3-4-3, just like United. And they've been drilled in it. So they know what they need to do and where they need to be better than United do. And so when you're better drilled in the same system as you're playing against your contemporary, and then you go a man down. And funny enough, Bruno isn't really the type of player that suits our 3-4-3. Quality player, probably our best player, maybe, but he just doesn't suit that style of football because that style of football requires possession, and Bruno is not a possession player. He's a Hollywood
No.
pass player.
Yeah.
Rashford needs to go as well. Darlow, I think, needs to play as a more conventional fullback in a conventional back four. He doesn't suit the system either, although he's a quality player. Darlow needs to go. Bruno needs to go. Rashford is a also needs to go. Ericsson needs to go. Casemiro needs to go. Anthony is beginning to show that he can play in the system. Funnily enough, Xerxes is still too new. Mason Mount needs to go. He's too injury prone. Availability.
Xerxes is too sexy.
Hello, good evening.
Xerxes plays like he's walking on high heels. He's slow.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Wari.
So
Wari, your camera is off.
No, he has his audio. His camera is bad, so he has to just do audio.
Okay.
Okay. So let's talk about Chelsea, man. These guys are Chelsea. They shouldn't be dropping points like this, losing to Fulham. Did you watch the game of Falabi? Yeah.
Yes, I did. And when the little I watched from the game, Chelsea had the lion's share of possession. They were pressing Fulham. Fulham got their tactics right. What they did was to just camp around their 18-yard box, wait for Chelsea to make mistakes. Then they hit them on the counter-attack. And they did that with precision. And that was just it, basically. But one thing I felt was that I don't know why Maresca, some of these coaches, the decisions they make at times, he dropped money. Madueke has been one of Chelsea's talisman. Madueke, I don't know, he dropped him for this game. I don't know why.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, and he's good. And like you said, having him will put more pressure on the defense, and they don't have to play a risky type of game, which opens them up to the counterattacks. What do you think, Warif?
Well, one thing about Fulham is that those guys, they are physical and they are fast. So Chelsea would have studied the Fulham players to know the way they played against Arsenal. And Cole Palmer, like I said in our other show, Cole Palmer is skillful, flexible, but he's not physical. Then, like what Mr. Falabi said, when you're playing some teams, you need players. Noni is fast, he's flexible, and when it comes to physicality, I think he's there. So, but the coaches, I don't know how they select their players. But they know better. But for Chelsea to have lost this game is not a good one for them.
This is a big one. This one will come back to haunt them in May. Yeah, these types of points, dropping 2 points. But on the other hand, let's talk about the other team. And now we see how Arsenal and Liverpool, they don't really have a focal striker. Both teams don't have. But I think the difference between Arsenal and Liverpool, where Liverpool scored 6 goals in their last game and they're not having a problem with scoring, is that Liverpool is more physical than Arsenal. Their forwards are more physical, and they have a far better right winger. They have a far better right winger. When you look at Salah, compare Salah to Saka. Salah versus Saka. No, Saka is the Saka. And that's the difference. If you had Saka on Liverpool, if Saka was on Liverpool on the right wing instead of Salah, Liverpool will be nowhere. What do you think, Warif? And then we'll go to Falabi. Yeah.
You see the difference between Liverpool and Arsenal players. It is Liverpool, they play direct football. They don't have time to play psychedelic and they're aggressive
and
they play
physical.
Yes, I always say they play street football. Street football. If you watch guys that play street football in Nigeria, they don't have time to entertain you. They go for the kill. So that's how Liverpool they play.
Yeah,
they go for
and I've noticed that Salah. I was surprised. Yeah, in that game where they scored 6 goals, Salah was even drifting to the center and playing very well from the center. So he can do both from the right or from the middle, and he's interchangeable. He can move around anywhere.
Yes. And they are mobile. They are what's it called? They are versatile.
And I think Alexander played in the last game, right? Yeah.
Alexander, yes, I think.
Yeah, and when you have someone like him in central midfield, it's just like, he's a defensive midfield, but when you have him in the midfield, it even makes them more powerful. They had 6 goals. And the thing is, they have depth because the other guy that was substituting for him is also good. They win with that other guy. But now that they brought him back, you saw the burst that they have. What do you think, Afalabi? Then we'll go to Kunle.
Yes, I agree with you. If you look at the way Liverpool play, I think it's pretty much Jurgen Klopp's system. Because when Jurgen Klopp came newly, it was Sadio Mane, Firmino, and Salah. That fluid front three has been a system they have been using over the years. They've never really had a point man or a traditional number 9. Now, before he left again, he made sure that he created that kind of, cohesive front unit.
Mindset.
With Gakpo, Diaz, and Salah. And Salah has been consistent. He's very durable. He has 15 goals and 11 assists. And he has the highest goal conversion rate, 26%. So when you have that kind of player, and he hardly ever gets injured. So, and then like Warif rightly mentioned, They have the work rate. They are physically very strong. They don't play to the gallery. They're a very effective and functional team. They play to get results. And they have squad depth. When a player is injured,
Yeah.
you have Nunes coming in the
Yeah.
midfield. They have that depth there. So
Yeah.
I think they are odds-on favorite to win the Premier League without a shadow
Yeah,
of
and I
doubt.
think that they have a 33% chance of winning Champions League. To me, the top three teams in no order are Liverpool, Real Madrid, and Barcelona.
Barcelona,
Let's
yes.
not forget Atletico
Barcelona.
Madrid, but I think Atletico Madrid
Barcelona,
will
yeah.
win Spain. But I mean, they're not going to do well in Champions League. I don't know. What do you think, Kunle? Yeah.
I think that there's some depth to that Liverpool squad that's really going to help them push for the title. And I think it's theirs to lose. When you look at Chelsea dropping points because Maresca is still getting used to his squad, I think. He's still making one or two tinkerings. I think Chelsea are going to be very strong next season. You can see that Nottingham Forest, I don't know how they're third. It's really
They are physical and they have a big striker, Wood.
Yes, it's Liverpool's title to lose. I can't imagine them dropping so many points at this point. I mean, they were 2 points ahead of Chelsea before this game. I think they're 5 points ahead of Chelsea now.
And they have a game. They have a game today at 9. So we're going to
nine. Yeah. And a game at hand.
They have 2 games in hand. So
And they
even
have
after
2 games in hand. They didn't play
they have
weekend.
games in hand and the lead.
Only.
Just one. Just one.
One
game
in hand.
today.
If they win that game, they'll be
playing
over
tonight.
the hills and far away.
Yes,
No, it's just one outstanding game. They have one game tonight.
Only has escaped too. All right. So guys, so this is a good show. So we're going to be back again throughout this holiday season, probably once every day or once every 2 days. Any last thoughts, Warif? Yeah.
Okay. I was watching the Man U game. I don't know why some coaches like what's it called? Afolabi rightly said, why put Nani on the bench? The Man U game. You have Garnacho, you have what's it called? Anthony. Those guys are direct players. Even if you watch the game, when they brought them in, then before they came in, it was as if Man U the short one was showing. But when they brought in Anthony and Garnacho, you see the short one was not that, it was not obvious. So coaches, they should learn how to study their players. Anthony is a direct player and he's skillful, he's physical, but the only thing I have against Anthony is that he's temperamental. But Garnacho is fast and he's direct. So coaches, I don't know, they know better, but to me, Garnacho should be starting. Anthony.
Sometimes I don't think they know, but they play politics. They know, but they play politics.
Or maybe if the players challenge them or talk back at them or something. Some coaches they don't like players like that.
Makes sense.
That sounds like the coach from France, Deschamps. That guy has fucked up France. There are many more titles they could have won, and then make what's his name, Mbappe, the captain of the team. Rubbish, man. But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Sorry, there's one other thing again. What was it called? The first goal they scored against Man U. Before the goal came in, I was saying, why would you allow players to be bullying your goalkeeper? You don't allow players to go and stand. You have to stand in between your goalkeeper and the opponent. That was why, if you watch the goal, it was a direct corner that went into the Man U's goal because they pinned Onana. Onana couldn't contest for the ball. They just allow those
FC, man. He can't handle crosses.
Yeah.
No, just not Onana alone. During the Carabao Cup semi-final, that was how Tottenham they scored against Manchester United. A direct corner that went straight into the post. So they should learn how to protect.
Oh yeah, they have to put players at the edge They have to put players to shield the goalkeeper from the ball from the goal.
Don't allow the opponent to bully the keeper.
They don't have the proper setup for special plays, for corners and free kicks and stuff like that. Yeah. It's crazy, man. Okay, so Quinley, any last thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah, United, just because you come in the middle, like Afolabi said, in the middle of the season with a new style of play, it's going to end in tears. So
unless maybe the coach, what is his name? Maybe he's just using this year as an experimental year. Yeah, he's using this year as an experimental year, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think so many players who go for Man U. So many.
I tell you what, if Man City is not careful, they could come close to getting relegated if they're not careful, man.
Should be sacked. Should be sacked.
Yeah. So
Pep.
It's not Pep Guardiola's fault. It's just that the team is stale now, you know. Yeah,
The coach.
that
It's a
team is tired.
mentality something.
They won three English championships in a year, and 3 years or 4 years of English championship and Champions League, and then injuries and everything has caught up with them. I don't think they can get rid of them.
They need fresh players with fresh challenge.
Yeah,
Yes.
but they need to rebuild. Yeah. Okay, last
Yes.
thoughts, Afolabi, before we go. Yeah.
Apart from that, I also think the average age of the Man City players is getting close to 30. They can't run anymore. They don't have the legs to run anymore.
Afolabi, that's how many shows we've done this month. 30.
This is 20. No, this is 29, not 30. So, like I said,
it's getting close to 30. Yeah.
Yeah, they need to bring in younger players. You know, if you look at Kyle Walker, if you look at Ilkay Gundogan, there are a lot of old people. They're Kevin De Bruyne. They can't run anymore.
Let me tell you something else that's hurting Man City. They don't have they don't develop their own players from their academies and stuff.
They do, but they're buying ready-made.
Yeah, so that's why they're suffering now, because they should have been developing players. Yeah, so
they've been developing players, but then they've been selling them instead of putting them in the team.
So they need to think about that, because yes, whereas Arsenal does develop players, but they don't bring them up quickly enough. All right, guys. So let's head out. What are your last your last thoughts? Follow me, then take us out. We'll be back probably tomorrow or Saturday, maybe Saturday. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I think it's Liverpool's title to lose, and I think they're going to win it at the end of the day. And they're favorites for the Champions League as well. And from me, from Mustafa, and Waris, it's bye for now.
Okay, let's go. Bye bye. Thank you, guys.
All right. Good night.